So I'm just going to introduce it so you don't have to listen to me. If you've all heard me, you don't want to hear me again. But I have some great people that are going to be with us today. And so we're going to have a really good session with hearing all about the Go Group, and then we're going to hear about some individual employment. And then we're going to have time at the end for some questions if you have some questions. We're like, you know, we have that hour and 45 minute, no, hour and a half, not 45 minutes, hour and a half. And so it's going to be a jam-packed session. So today we're just going to kind of be going through kind of like our history of where we are, you know, why we came where we are, right? We're going to talk about our new services, and then we're going to have our two spotlights, our Volunteers of America and then Terrebonne ARC. So if you're excited, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from our Go Group for sure. So anyway, I'm going to kind of give you some good information just to kind of get you started. Look, I'm going to see if I can wheel this around so I can read. So back in 2011, OCDD adopted an employment first philosophy. And so with that, it's not that employment is your first and only option. It is the first option we should be talking about, employment, and then we should be filling in around it. But we certainly realize that it's not going to be your only option. Every individual of working age, through a person-centered process, should identify their path to community employment. And we shouldn't be just saying, do you want to work, or can you work, or what do you think about work? There should be some really good conversations around employment. And we've heard a little bit about it earlier this morning, talking about employment. I mean, how much it enriches people's lives. And if you met Kevin earlier, if you have a conversation with him, he will definitely tell you how employment has enriched his life. And it's more about learning about employment, figuring out how you're going to fit in your community, because that's what we're all about. It's the home and community-based services. So in your home and in your community is where we're offering services in our waivers. And that is what we should be talking about. What can we do to help each person we support have that meaningful life? How can we have work and community and enrich their lives, giving them purpose, giving them meaning, giving them something to look forward to every day? So then in 2014, we had that HCBS settings rule. How many here has heard that a million times? If you've not, then you must not be my provider or LGE staff. So that came out, and it was simply CMS's push to say, services should be offered in the home and community, not in separated facilities where only individuals with disabilities resides, or the only facility where they do fun things. It shouldn't just be with people with disabilities. It should be with everybody. We should make a place for everybody in our community, and that's what it's all about. And so if you read that statement, the setting is integrated. If we've heard, I bet people in here could probably repeat this like verbatim, right? So I'm not going to do it, but it talks about integrated and accessing all your supports in the community. So you don't just go to a separate place for people with developmental disabilities to have physical therapy, or you don't bring in the physical therapy, you go in the community. And so I feel like as people who support individuals with disabilities, we need to kind of keep that in mind. You know, as we're out there in our communities, we should be talking about that. We should be having the conversations about our individuals and how they do need the same supports that we all need. We all need supports. I need supports in doing Excel spreadsheets. I mean, I can't do those to save my life. But then I'm better at navigating people around the state or whatever it might be. So everybody has strengths and everybody needs support, no matter what it is. And you can look at it that way. So we should be having those conversations at our churches, at community activities and events, and we should be making sure that we're making a place and including. And sometimes it's just a matter of saying to people who may not work in the world or understand it, that that's what we're trying to do. We just simply want our individuals to have the same rights that you and I have, and that they should be treated just like people who do not have a developmental disability. You shouldn't be treated separately and apart because of that reason. And then, because we had to answer the HCBS settings rule, we had to do a whole vocational, I don't like to use that word anymore because it's kind of an antiquated word, redesign. So we have day and employment services now. So we are trying to really kind of break those old habits, and I know we still do it in our office, but I correct people every single time. Just like I don't use the word client or recipient or participant. I use a person or an individual. I try very much to practice what I preach. And if you've all heard me, you know that we talk about person-centered language and all that. And so that's just kind of part of it. But we redesigned our services and we added community components to all of them. And we have a community life engagement service. Let me see. There we go. We have a community life engagement service. We have community career planning, and we have beefed up our individual supported employment services. So in the past, we had this service called supported employment and all the adult waivers. That's the now, the row, and the supports. But we've broken it out into individual services to offer a more tailored package, if you will, for each person, and it's more designed to be more person-centered, and that's where we're at with that. Now, if any of you have heard me speak, you know that I could just go on and on, so I'm really trying to keep myself on track because I've got other great people to hear. So community life engagement, and I'm not going to read this. I had this, and I'm sure this will be posted somewhere, but it is all about helping that individual find out, explore, investigate, figure out what's in their community that they'd like to be a part of. So it supports the individual to go in the community, to participate in activities like at the rec center or at the quilting club or the model train club, or if people are interested in doing some continuing education, getting a GED, that's what all this is about. It's like helping that person figure out what's meaningful to them. So there's no two people that are going to have all the same interests and desires and wants. They may in the beginning because they haven't hit up on what's important to that person. But we'll get there as we explore and continue to do, we'll get there. And also, another big thing about this is the volunteering and the self-empowerment, being part of a people first group or something like that to keep people going and doing and being a part of their community. And that's what we're going to hear about next is our Go groups. They're all community life engagement. Hey, I'm going to wait till the end, okay, to take it because we're trying to make sure we cover everybody, but we'll get to you. So community life engagement is considered the community component of rehabilitation. So y'all have probably all heard of rehabilitation. We refer to it now as like on-site rehabilitation. So rehabilitation is that overarching title, that overarching service title. And underneath it, we have community life engagement. So you have, the ability to use both services. But today we're going to be talking about strictly community life engagement. It's done in a small group of like 1 to 2 friends who have common interests and want to hang out and do things together in the community, have similar interests, similar likes. Maybe one isn't sure if they like something, but hey, we're going to go try it because I like hanging out with Sarah. So we're going to go see what this is all about. Then our staff, we have someone who's going to be there supporting. So that is to make sure that the individual is supported in how they need to be supported. Everybody's got different needs. Everybody needs different supports, and that staff is there to help that and facilitate the activities, but not to necessarily take over or, tell somebody to do this or do that. They're there to kind of help them. If someone's like floundering, they're not sure, then yeah, staff might need to step in and do some direction and do some more assistance. But the goal is to kind of get them to be a little bit more independent, be able to vocalize or explain or what they would like to do. This service is delivered by a dehabilitation provider. So I'm saying that because I hear this all the time. Who can do that? So it's a dehabilitation, it's provider type 14. All adults in the sports waiver row and now are able to get this service. So I'm going to talk about community career planning. This is more along the lines of employment. So this is kind of helping people kind of figure out what they want to do. You might have somebody who says, I'd like to work, but I have no idea what that means. And that's where you do this service. And you figure out things in the community. You do some volunteering, some internships, some mentorships. You do different kinds of things to help that person have more experiences so they can say, I don't want to do that. And I have a story, I'm going to try to make it real brief because it's a good story and it hits where I'm always wanting to hit. There was an individual who worked, and he worked on a yard crew, and he was always outside. And big, strong guy, could do anything. And the provider told me, they said, we used to think he was like and I hate to say this, but just lazy. He didn't want to do the work. He didn't want to go. He was always sitting down. He was always taking breaks, and we had no clue. He wouldn't tell us anything. We had to, here we go. So then one day they needed him to fill in over here on another crew that was inside of a building. They were a janitorial crew, and he filled in. And they said that day he was the hardest worker. He got everything done. Everything was great. And at the end of the day, they finally said, what is up? And he said, I hate the heat. I don't want to be outside. And no one ever bothered to ask, why don't you want to do this? But he was able to tell them that day, I don't like it outside. It's hot. But maybe he didn't know there were other options, right? So we have to do some exploring and figuring it out. And so this service is delivered by a pre-vocational provider, which is a provider type 13 if you're a provider, and then a supported employment. So that is 84. So if you are an individual supported employment provider, you can now provide this service. Not just yet, but I just did an amendment and now they can. And I am very excited because this service should all be about going to work. It should be about being in the community and exploring it and figuring it out. So you see how being in the community and community life engagement, you learn about your community. And then you start to have some peak interest. Maybe I would like to work at the donut shop. But I don't know, because now I got to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not real sure if I can do that. And so, it's talking about that, having those very much good conversations so that individuals can make some choices. And the last one I'm going to talk about is individual support employment. And this one's near and dear to my heart. So years ago, I worked for Louisiana Rehabilitation Services, who y'all heard about earlier. Somebody was saying they need more money. They really do need more money. They are a great agency. They do good work, and so I hope they do find some funding for them. But meanwhile, over here in OCDD waivers, I made a path. Because if individuals need to work, we don't have time to sometimes wait for services to be delivered from LRS because there is a process, just like everybody has a process. But all of our individuals already have a waiver. It's the matter of amending a plan. And so it should be much easier to do that. So all these services are delivered one-to-one. These services are meant for people who want to work in the community, at a typical job, at a typical business, and sometimes they're customized. The jobs are customized, and you work with your provider, your job specialist to, do just that, customize a job for me. We have that all across the state where people are working. I just saw a guy on my Facebook last night. He's worked for 21 years for a hospital in North Louisiana, and they had recognized him at the ULM game last night, basketball game. He's been working there and doing a great job and doing a fabulous job and has earned trips and all kinds of things because he's a great employee. His job was customized 21 years ago, before customization was even a word. So here's our services that we have now. Your work-based learning experiences are simply your assessments. Job development and placement, initial job support and stabilization, extended job supports, and follow-along supports. All of those services are very much patterned to align with LRS. I have an extra one in there called extended job supports. That is for people who, you get to the time where your initial job supports are running out, but you need a little bit extra time. We have that for you. And so I'm excited about these services because I feel like they hit everything we need them to hit. And they're individualized, and anyway, very excited about these services. So the point, like I said, if you've ever had a conversation with Kevin, if you find him, have a conversation. Kevin is in an individual customized job, basically, at our office, and we support him there. And it has brought such great joy and meaning. So remember back in COVID, we were shut down for so long. Kevin called somebody at our office every day going, when are we going back to work? When are we going back to work? Because it brings him great joy to come in and work. And he's made friends, and we're all there for him. So anyway, I think I'm done. Contact information. Most of you know how to reach me. I am always willing and able to help you in any way you need. So please reach out. So what we're going to do, I was only 1 minute over. Look at me. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to let our Go group come up, and we're going to switch it out, and we'll go from there. And they're going to be doing kind of a panel, and they have their facilitators, and so they're going to be offering you lots of good information and telling you about what they do every day in that community life engagement service. Now, the thing that is unique about this group is that they are 100% in the community every day. They don't have a building. They gave that building up, but I think Emily's going to probably, or Kim's going to tell you about how a little bit of that, so I'll be quiet. So, and then after the group, we'll be having Erica come up and talk about individual support employment with you. So, all right. Sorry. Oh, no, that's for the next person. I'm talking from my phone. We don't have slides.
Do we want that one up?
Do like a blank slide. You know what? We'll just do this one. That's the next presenter.
Okay. Let me go ahead and go to. Cool.
Good afternoon. My name is Kim Stringer. I am the program director for the Dayhabilitation program at Volunteers of America, South Central Louisiana. I have been with the agency for almost 22 years. And this is, where is she? Sorry. Is Emily Kelly. She was the previous program director for the Dayhab, and she is now our director of compliance and safety. Emily began the transition to community-based programming while she was the program director, so I'm going to let her take the lead for a little while and tell you about the things that she did, and then I'll come back.
Okay. And I don't know that, can y'all hear me if I just speak? Or do y'all want me to use the microphone? Okay. Okay, so like Kim said, I transitioned from working with the Dayhab in October of 22, right after COVID. We returned, and slowly participants were coming back to the Dayhab. We ran a very traditional Dayhab, setup, and our leadership asked if I would go in and help because they were trying to go into compliance and they were having some difficulty, some resistance, and just some hesitation to do that and get on board with it. So I went in and not knowing much about DayHab, I had done supported living prior. And I found myself overwhelmed quickly with what I saw us doing and where we needed to be. So I scheduled a meeting with Rosemary. She came and graciously sat with me for a very long time, went through the settings rules, went through the expectations, and it was overwhelming. I was thinking, how in the world am I going to change what we're doing into what this expectation is? A daunting task, to say the least. Slowly, we decided to jump in. We were like, okay, we're doing it. So we began very small. We began going out a couple of groups a week at different times, a group of 3 or 4, depending on what the activity was. They would go out with a facilitator. They loved it. We saw great changes in our ladies and gentlemen. And so slowly we just built from that. We started going out more. We started having one group go in the morning, one group go in the afternoon. Then probably about early 24, we decided that we were going to create our go groups. And our goal was to go community-based, 100%. So in preparation for that, we started, of course, talking to them. They are the base of everything we do. They started telling us what they wanted. They started telling us what they would like it to look like. We paid a lot of attention to who had similar interests and relationships that they only got to see their boyfriend or girlfriend at the DayHab, so we wanted to make sure we can maintain that. And then we just went from there. We jumped in, and then I left the program and handed it over to Kim. So Kim has continued it from that point, and she'll tell you more about that. And then we're going to let y'all hear from the actual people that created the program and what they like about it and what their interests are. Did you have something else you wanted to say before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was involved in the DayHab before we went 100% community-based, so I kind of worked with Emily some on that. But I began as program director on April 1st, and we went 100% community-based officially April 1st. We really did it March 25th. So we have 3 go groups, and each go group contains 4 individuals and a facilitator, and they are fully integrated into the community 5 days a week. They spend their days building independence, relationships, life skills. Everything is participant driven. So they'll tell you more about that, but they kind of come up with their own schedules, and everything aligns with the HCBS settings rule. So our go groups promote choice, dignity, and autonomy. These are the real stars. They're going to tell you about their groups and what they do each day. So we've got some questions to ask them. I only brought one of these, so.
Do the mics just pick up from where they are, or should they pass the mic? Pass it? Okay. All right, so first we're just going to let them introduce themselves. So you can begin. Do you want to grab this one? Do they need to turn them on? Or grab this one? Okay, here.
Hello,
Okay. So introduce yourself, please.
my name is Anicia.
Do you want to tell them who you are?
Rhonda.
Nathan. David.
Hello, my name's David.
Olivia.
Nita. And some of these participants, okay, good. Some of them came to our day hub prior, so they've experienced both settings. Some of them have just experienced community-based. So just to let y'all know that. So Rhonda is one of our facilitators, and Nita is our other facilitator. And these participants chose to come. They are from 2 different go groups or 3? Two different go groups, okay. Rhonda, what is a go group?
It's where we pick up the we pick up the individuals and we go out into the community, and they learn life learning experience. They pretty much learn independency. We support them behind different things that they would like to do, and we help advocate for them.
Okay. And this is for anyone. What does a typical day look like for a Go group?
It's no particular.
Honestly, each day is different. We can, each day we vote, do we want to do what's on the schedule or do we just want to do something different? And then from there, it's a discussion between each individual person as a group.
If I could jump in 1 second. So he's mentioning schedules. So we use an app called Band that Emily set up when she was program director, and I've continued using. And you can post pictures, you can put different events. So what I do is find as many free or low cost events in the community, and I put them on Band. And each week, the facilitator and individuals look at the calendar and see if there's anything they want to do as a group. They are, of course, welcome to choose something that's not on the calendar, and it's encouraged to find your own way. And then they submit a group schedule to me on Thursdays, and I upload them in Band on Friday, and they post automatically on Sunday. So on Sundays, the participants and their families can look in Band and see what they're doing during the week, see if they need to bring money for something or to dress warmly if it's going to be cold or something like that. The schedules can change. They may go and have gone to things and said, I'm not feeling it, we want to go somewhere else. And I do not say, you have to do this. There are a couple of things that we sign up for. Volunteering is one thing. I have tried, and in the 10 months I've been doing it, I've never had to reschedule a volunteer commitment because I really want us to fulfill all of our volunteer commitments that we make. So other than a few set things that we do on a routine basis, they just choose what they want to do, and they go out there, and I'm going to let them talk more about that, but they've come up with a lot of projects on their own.
Did you have a question?
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Do the 3 groups stay with the same 4 individuals, or do they mix with the groups?
Right now, you mean do they switch up groups or do they all meet together?
If we have your 3 groups.
Yeah. Right now.
They say, oh, I want to go to this, or is it the same people in the group all the time?
It's the same people for the most part. If someone's absent or if it's an activity that one might want to do other than another one, they can switch out. Yeah, and it was painstaking putting the groups together because we definitely wanted to keep common interests, but we also wanted to challenge the other. So if just because you've never done something doesn't mean you don't like it. Right. You've just maybe never done it. So, and then we had some boyfriends and girlfriends who wanted to get together so they could have their time to be together, which was day have time.
And we've got some close-knit groups.
Yeah.
Like these folks, they have become each other's family and friends. If
they ever voice that
Yes.
they would like to change, then we, definitely Kim, talks to them about that. And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. my trouble. Okay. We'll just go down the row here so everybody will get a chance to answer, and we'll start with Anicia. What kinds of things do you do in your Go group?
What? Go to the movies. Pottery painting in the mall. Basketball.
You can pass it down to
Yeah, you
Lucia.
can pass it to
Yeah.
Mike.
Paint pottery. I just eat out.
Wait, what was the second part?
Eat out.
Eat
Eat out.
Sometimes we go to Breck-sponsored events, and then sometimes we'll just go to the park or relax.
I like the things we do, like the pottery and painting and the zoo and the movies and stuff like that.
Pottery painting has been a huge
Hello.
hit
We're
across.
going to exercise, and we're going to eat, and we go to the book club at the library.
And I do Treeport. I love going out and eat. And go see a movie, Jaws.
Jaws.
That movie.
Yeah. We went to the 50th anniversary showing of Jaws last summer. Okay, and this is for anyone. Olivia, if you want to start, you can. How does it feel to be out in the community instead of staying in one building all day?
I do things like, I do pottery.
How do it feel to be out in the community?
Out in the community.
Building.
I would like to say,
It's okay. You can pass it if you don't know what to say.
I like it because we could go any place we want to. And I love playing picky ball.
Honestly, I like the fact that, honestly, if we can have a spontaneous suggestion, and sometimes it's something everybody will do, and we'll just vote on it and then go do it. It's not really any set schedule.
Well, it's like, if you like it better than being in the building,
Yeah.
I like to
It,
ask a question about that. How you said there's not a set schedule. So do they spend the same amount of time out in the community every day, or is
They
it
do.
sometimes just mornings, sometimes all day, sometimes just afternoons?
It's the same amount of time. The facilitators get to work at 7 and get into an agency vehicle and begin transportation. And then at the end of the day, after they bring everyone home, their day ends at 3. So the pickup the pickup times are pretty much the same. The drop-off times may vary depending on the activity. Like they may get caught up in something and time get away from them, but they're generally done around 2:30, 2:45, something like that. And they do the schedule that we put in band, but like I said, they don't have to stick to it. It's just kind of a guideline, maybe, yeah.
framework.
And I just ask them to pick 2 things for the day, like 2 activities for the day. As they can tell you, they do way more than 2 activities per day. But we generally,
choice.
yeah, by choice.
Yeah.
We generally just put 2 into the band app.
And we provide door-to-door service. So we pick them up from their homes or a community meeting spot, and then we drop them back off to their homes or a community
And
meeting
they
spot.
bring their own money for certain activities?
Yes.
Alcohol money, or if they're eating out?
Yes.
Yes, they bring their own money. The facilitators assist if they need help, like counting change, getting receipts, that kind of thing. But everyone brings their own spending money, holds their own spending money, handles all of that, and we just assist as needed.
And we don't just go out to eat all the time. They bring a non-warmable lunch with them as well.
But as far as the question on whether I like it better than being in the building all day, the answer is definitely going to be yes.
Mike, will you share?
Yeah, will you share if you like going in the community better than being at the old day hab?
What was it like being in the old day hab?
I don't like it.
You didn't like it?
No. I can't go to the bathroom.
Couldn't go to the bathroom when he wanted to.
What did you say you felt like in the old day hab?
I can't get out of that pap. I have to push back. There's no room to go to the bathroom.
No room, huh? You couldn't get out.
No.
What's your question?
Being that you all spend a lot of time together, and this is for the group, being that you all spend a lot of time together, what do you do if one of your friends, you're having a bad day? How do you encourage each other? I'm curious.
Honestly, I don't need it. Honestly, if somebody's in a bad mood, we try to generally try to get them to laugh or try to kind of joke around with them, try to get them to at least smile and feel a little bit better.
Honestly, I really haven't seen them have a bad day. It's like basically they take care of them, where we picking them up from. They'll pretty much probably call us and ask us how long it'll take to get there because they ready to go, you know. It's like versus them being at home, they get a totally different from what I'm hearing from like their parents or guardians or whatever. They give us a totally different. We don't get to see that side that they get to see. So it's like it's never really a bad day with them.
We actually had a young lady who had a doctor's appointment scheduled, and she told her mom, "You can cancel it because I'm going with the Go group." And her mom called Rhonda and said, "I've canceled the doctor's appointment. Come and pick her up so that she can go out with the Go group." Where are we at? Okay, your turn.
So the entire day is CLE hours?
Yes.
So they have hours at all?
No, we do
CLE and transportation.
And then CLE.
And I didn't throw in that each, I guess it was implied, but each Go group does their own schedule, and for the most part, they're not together. They're not just a big group of folks with developmental disabilities in the community. There are some things, book club, music class, nutrition class, those kinds of things, everyone's together. But unless it's specified in the app that it's for everyone, then each group finds their own activities to do.
We have some partnerships that just logistically we couldn't do in threes. Our book club, we have an ag center rep that comes and does a cooking class once a month, and that's what her job would allow her to do. So we do come together, but we do that off-site. We do that at the Lady of the Lake Impact Center. So they're in the community learning a cooking class.
Everything is off-site.
Yeah.
We don't have a physical site anymore.
We forfeited it.
Yeah.
So we don't have it. And then we have a music partnership with Music for All, and they come in. Yeah, it's called, the name of the organization is Kids Orchestra, but they created a special program for us called Music for All, and they learn. What do y'all do at Music for All?
Honestly, they can spring a different instructor on you out of the blue, and each one is tailored towards a specific area of music or a specific interest.
Anicia, what do you like doing at Music for All? Do you want to use the microphone? What's your favorite thing?
Sing.
That's your favorite? Okay. And that, again, they go there to their offices in downtown Baton Rouge to do the music lessons. The library, they go to the Goodwood Library here in Baton Rouge.
So other than those partnerships, unless it's something like, of course, at Christmas time, we got together and went to dinner, that kind of stuff. Everybody gets together because it's a group of friends. So we did some holiday events and some special events, but other than that, it's all three groups out in the community. I did that. For the group, for the Go Group, do you feel more confident trying new things now?
Yes.
What are some new things you've done?
Line dancing. My sugar chick, my ear pills.
You can pass it to Mike. What have you tried new?
Everything.
Everything?
You said you asked, what do I like best about the Go Group?
Do you feel more confident trying new things?
Honestly, I used to not volunteer a lot, and I feel a lot more comfortable with volunteering at like the food bank, giving out to the homeless. Just, I'm more comfortable outside of my comfort zone now than I am within it.
Okay, I like the things we do and, you know, help out the people. Yeah, well, a token from the people, right. Okay.
I like to play pickleball, and I used to want to do exercise, but now I do exercise and I love it.
We've got a few new pickleball players. They've learned how to play pickleball.
I love to do ice cream shop. And we joke around.
Olivia, what did you decide to do with the Go Groups? What did y'all do with them all?
I got my ears pierced since Christmas.
She had had her ears pierced since birth, and she's scared of needles. So they basically feed off of each other. So if it's like one is scared, we have them to help us, you know, to support them. And with each other, we went to the health fair, and she got her sugar check. So Olivia decides to get her sugar check, and I told her mom was like, we need to bring y'all to the doctor with us, because she don't get nothing checked on her. So it's a lot that she done.
Who are some of the people y'all have met in the community that have become friends?
I mean, we have so many people that we've met over the community, out in the community, like,
Miss Wanda from the food bank at Jewel up there.
like the guys, the helpers and the assistances, and all the people at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank down at the Jewel J. Newsom Center.
Yeah, Miss Olivia from the Miss Olivia from the pottery that they love. And then we have Austin from the food. From the book club. Miss Eva, she teaches them about food safety as well. Because we had participants that she don't exclude anybody. She try to make everybody feel comfortable. So it's basically over the last couple months, she's been teaching them like food safety with the knives and stuff. And everybody will have a knife, but we have an individual that's not good with a knife. So she wanted to make sure that she participated with it. So she gave her a plastic knife to do it, to make her feel comfortable with it. And made the same way like the real one was. And she worked pretty good with it. Mr. Sam from Music for All.
We've met so many outspoken people that it's really hard to say who's better than the other. They're all basically all the same. All nice people, all generous, all outgoing.
All right, guys, what are you most proud of participating in the Go groups, in with the Go groups? Anicia, you want to go? What are you most proud of?
That's a good question.
And if you want to think about it, you can pass it down.
What you most proud of about being in the group? Get out. Getting out. Yeah, and out. Out.
Getting out and what?
Say it again, please.
Out.
Getting out?
Phases. Like getting out the house. Yeah.
To the community.
Yeah.
What is your
I'm proud that everybody basically get along, and we really don't have a backlash. I mean, they pretty much became our family. So.
Rhonda, could you tell them about, I'm proud of one of the groups for something that they did. Tell them about y'all tell them about the volunteer project that y'all did.
With our grow group, we volunteer and fed, we did like 49 snack bags. We filled them up. We purchased it out of our own pockets. The individuals also took their money and they went to the store and purchased what they wanted to, and we filled the bags up, and we went to One Stop. The One Stop, VOA One Stop, and we gave them out to the homeless people.
The participants came up, the individuals came up with that on their own. They came up with their own volunteer project. They called me and said, all we need you to do is facilitate the drop-off. And so all I did was set up a time, that's it. They went and bought the stuff and handed it out themselves.
They had like fruits, snacks, fruits, cookies, chips, Jello, candy, water. So.
What are you most proud of, Nathan?
I mean, there's a lot to be proud of within the program. I'm proud of the fact that I've taken a conscious effort to go out of my comfort zone and try things that I've never tried before.
The same thing with me, try things I never did before neither.
I'm proud for giving back to the community.
Am I who we're most proud of? I like to do. I do basketball stuff and bowling. Yeah.
Bowling? Olivia's been teaching everybody basketball tricks.
Too.
And what about you, Nita?
Well, I'm proud that I work for VOA and I got to meet each individual, and now that we more like a family instead of just I'm working with disabilities, you know. So that's what I'm proud of, that we more done grew as a family.
Nita, you can start, and we're going to go this way this time. Nita, tell us what one of the most fun or funniest moments with the Go groups.
There's a lot.
Halloween. This individual, Olivia, with the charade.
Olivia's a star.
That was the funniest, the way she acted. She was supposed to be was it? It wasn't a witch. It was a witch or something. She was supposed to be. And the way
They were doing the Halloween.
But she
themed
did everything
charades.
but what she was supposed to be.
But I think it was I think I was the one that figured out. It took like 12 guesses, and it
Okay.
What was your funniest moment, Olivia?
remember. With the wig and stuff, and blue hair.
Where'd y'all wear the wig? I know what she's talking about. Where'd y'all wear the wigs?
I remember wearing a wig.
Y'all went to Hammond?
Oh yeah, the little weaves wig.
Some of the pictures on band are very interesting.
What's funny is when Miss Vera tried to hit the tennis ball.
David, do you have a funniest moment?
No, not that I could think of.
Okay. Nathan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like the karaoke. Yeah.
What do you think, David?
Yeah, I think stroking.
Nathan, do you have a funniest?
Yet again with charades, but this time it was Christmas.
Oh.
There was a couple of a couple people that made it a little bit hilarious.
Mine is when Olivia was teaching me how to dribble the basketball and go up under your legs and all that. And she was doing it for a good 10 minutes, and I gave her 2 minutes. I was tired, so.
Mike, do you have a funniest moment?
The dinosaur coming out the ceiling.
Yeah.
The dinosaur.
About after?
Yeah.
Dinosaur?
Would it be when I scared you?
Dinosaurs?
Mike, in the movies, would it be when I scared you in the movie? Watching the dinosaurs.
Anicia, do you have one? No?
Does anybody on our panel have any thoughts you'd like to share? Final thoughts? Anything at all about the DayHab, the Go Groups,
I wanna
anything?
thank you for getting us a van. Those cars was killing us.
We started off with cars. We started off with like a mid-sized sedan, and it was a learning curve because they were quite squished in the cars. So we moved to minivans about a month ago. Yes, they were.
We were like sardines.
It was tight. It was tight quarters in those cars with 5 people, and I think there was a lot of discussion about who was going to have to sit in the back because they were going to be squished. I think they took turns riding in the front.
So when you had your day hab before they went into the girl groups, it was only cut off the individuals that supported at that time also?
Before COVID, it was more. I'm not gonna give you numbers, a lot more. Because I wasn't involved with it then. When we came back from COVID, we actually, for a while, we had 3. And then the numbers just grew. And where we're at right now, and Kim can speak about this more, is we wanted to start, obviously, with the people we had. And so we found facilitators for those groups. And then we will keep a waiting list. And as we have people that want, to be in a Go group, then we'll add facilitators and vehicles. So we'll grow in that method.
I have a very short waiting list right now. And at a certain point, I'll start looking for another facilitator to make that 4th group. So we have 12 right now. 3 groups of 4. 12. No, I haven't relayed that information. We have 12.
Excuse me, you said
Yes.
you have 12 clients,
12 individuals, yes, ma'am.
12 individuals, and you have 4 facilitators?
3 facilitators.
Okay, so these Go groups, I'm sorry, I
No, you're good.
some of your talk.
So it's 3 groups of 4.
3 groups of 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so y'all are not like associated with the park or anything like that?
No, we're Volunteers of America.
Oh, that's.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, well, we're with the Friendship House in Gonzales,
Mhm.
and, y'all Go groups are more than welcome to join us. We do activities
I'm gonna put that in my phone just because I know I'll forget.
Tomorrow, we're doing spirit sticks because we're gonna be in the Gonzalez parade. So from 12 to 3 at the Gonzalez Library is where we'll be.
Thank you
So
for
anybody
Okay.
that.
that wants to come and be involved is more than welcome.
Okay, thank you.
All of our stuff on Facebook.
Thank you.
Heather,
Thank
did
you.
you have a question?
Yeah, thanks. Your panel is amazing and very compelling, so it's not about the voters themselves, it's really about administrative stuff. Does geography or proximity play a part in who you pick up and how you group people together? We didn't talk about that.
Not really. We certainly took that, we sat down, I started at my kitchen counter, and I put everyone's name on an index card and thought about common interests and moved them around in that respect. Relationships, moved them around in that respect. Did look at where they were, but some of our facilitators, and they can speak to this, to keep them together with the people they want to be with, they zigzag. Like they do, like the
No one goes to a certain area of town or a
No.
certain, like, they're zigzagging all morning and all afternoon to bring people home. Location really plays zero.
Yeah, it was one
part
of
in
the
it.
last factors that we,
Yeah.
took into consideration.
Specific question is for facilitators, has the way the programs have been organized, reporting structure, has that changed? And when do they do the administrative stuff? Where do you guys meet your team?
So both of these ladies were not here for the, when the day hab was in, is that what you're asking? Versus now?
Yeah, but she's asking, like, when y'all have meetings, staff meetings, when and where do y'all do that? Like, when y'all staff meetings with Kim?
Oh, we go to the office.
My office is still there. We meet in the kitchen.
And the change that it's made has been so positive, just seeing them explore and become more, find their voice more and become more independent, has just been wonderful to watch.
And I like it that they, guardians and stuff, they pretty much bag it up, you know, they with us, they not instant, oh, don't take my person here and don't take them there, you know, it's like, they help encourage, and they also give us ideas of what they pretty much like, that they may not be able to say, or let us know, and we pretty much go off of it.
Cause I have a nonverbal one, and her mom, she was like, you want to take them to the movies sometime? I said,
We go to the movies.
but, so that was the idea, I was like, okay, well, you know, I, talked to those, y'all wanna go to the movies? They be down for everything.
And all of them
But then
love-
they tell me like, oh, let's go to my house, let's go to, okay.
Yeah.
And we got, on our, you know, wherever we're going, we got downtown, let's go to my house.
And every individual in all groups love Dollar Tree. They can go to Dollar Tree every day, they will go. So they love Dollar Tree, and they also love, we do, karaoke with Sunshine on Friday.
Sunshine Interactive.
At the Breakout. They love karaoke. So when we at the Ag Center, we also just added in, we do, if we have time, we do karaoke there. Alicia loves to sing, and she wasn't doing none of that at first. She was like mumbling, humbling under her breath, so now she gets the mic and don't wanna let it go.
Who here went to the Saints camp?
Oh, yeah.
We had two groups go to watch the Saints training, I'm gonna get it wrong, training academy, practice camp, something. Yeah, last summer, that was a big hit.
And we didn't talk much about volunteering, but we have a couple of set volunteer projects. We have a partnership with St. James Episcopal.
We care bag.
And they do We Care bags with them.
J. Jewel, Food Bank Center.
Food bank, yeah.
The boutique.
One Breath.
One Breath Boutique. They go and, separate like the, babies and toddlers clothes and, diapers and stuff. And they'll put it to the side, and I guess the, people who need it, they'll come and pick them up, get it and stuff.
We volunteered at a pumpkin patch.
Yeah, the pumpkin patch, and then we do the, red shoe, food pantry, we'll clean it out, clean the refrigerator out and stuff, and we add food and stuff to the, pantry.
Is it all during the work week? Do you ever do weekends?
We don't do weekends. I think they had one thing since I've been here, was the pancake, national pancake.
Yeah. One of Emily's goals when she was program director was to get it more flex. I've run into some barriers. I would like it like that. There's some barriers across the board. We did do a flex day for our holiday dinner, so everybody was picked up in the afternoon and got home between 8:30 and 9 that night. But we haven't done any weekends yet, but it's not out of the question. Yeah, they are fun.
Yes.
Yes.
They want to go on a weekend trip, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, we got in the car one day when I had a group and they were like, let's go to Biloxi. And I was like, today?
All right, so, just for time, I know, we could listen to them all day, because I've sat with them and heard all the great stuff that they've done, and it's been amazing. Because like Emily said, alluded in the beginning, like, she stepped in, just like a couple, like, in, I don't know, 2030, I feel like, and like, but then it just turned around, and then the next thing I know, she says, oh, we're 100% in the community, like, we're not doing that anymore. So it's awesome. I'm so excited. I think that, and you've heard their stories, I feel like it is great for our individuals to have some more opportunities to do things, you know, making choices of what you want to do and having fun. And you can just tell, like, there's connections, and they've become together. You know, it's just cool to hear and see. And these ladies have done a great job, and Nita and Rhonda, I think that they've done an excellent job. And I wanted to ask you this: do you enjoy your job? Like, now, you didn't have anything to compare this to, where you would sit in a building 8 to 2-ish. Oh, you have that?
I've worked in, group homes.
Okay. So having that flexibility and freedom, see, I feel like this would be something I'd love to do. Like, we could just go. Sarah's like, I want to do this. Anyway, we need to have this. So anyway, I'm excited that we have a group like this to, like, hear from and model after, and y'all are doing an awesome job, and I appreciate it. And I really appreciate y'all coming today, and I thank you so much. And I have something for y'all, but I'm going to give it to Kim, and she'll give it to y'all whenever y'all get together. And so I do appreciate y'all coming. So our next person up is Erica Pellegrin. She is from TARC, our Terrebonne Art in Region 3, which is like in the Houma-Tipno area, that area. And she's going to give some information out to you guys to talk about individual support employment. And we'll turn it over to Erica.
Hi, good afternoon. Again, my name is Erica Pellegrin. I'm with Terrebonne ARC. I'm a director, and I kind of oversee a spectrum of services. I oversee our day program, our group supported employment, which is I oversee the retail bakery and our sauces and pepper jelly business, and I also oversee community employment. So it's been awesome to see all the different services and how they can intertwine. And here I am today to talk about individualized supported employment. Now, I know everyone in this room, we're all working every day towards inclusion, right? So everything we're doing is so that people with disabilities can have a meaningful life, whether it's finding their joy and living their best life in the community or in their personal life. So that's what we're trying to do every single day. I believe there's multiple pathways to employment, but I believe every pathway is it's dependent on the individual. and it's an individualized process. So we are here to help them and ourselves try to figure out what is the best avenue to go with when we're looking towards employment for individuals. I believe, and I know everyone in this room also believes in the employment first initiatives. Work is possible, support is available, and the dream is worth pursuing. So the power of inclusion, building diverse workplaces successfully, right? So there are different belief systems on how to make a successful long or short-term job placement, and finding it's not about whether the person can work, right? It's about the right place for them to work. We believe in supported work environments. It's important to have the people at the table helping them identify their interests, skills, and goals with the potential employers. Just like this incredible group, and by the way, that y'all did an incredible job exploring the community, because I know one of the things y'all are learning, like you said, is what y'all like, but also what you don't like. And I think that's very important for any one of us in a job, so that we want to look for that long-term success. Supportive work environments is the key. For everyone, every person in this building wants to feel valued, respected, heard, and empowered to bring their best self to their job. So we are here to help them in those things. Employment success is a fit, not a placement. There are people that are like, okay, I'm just going to place someone here, I want to get my money, you know, or whatnot. We do not believe that. That's not a fundamental thing that we do, because you're just going to get very short-term success, not the right supports, and that person will not feel, you know, living to their best life in that position. So we look for great fits, not just placements. Finding the job that fits you. When you look at customized or individualized, everyone is different, including ourselves. But we can learn the different skills to either fit the job or have that job fit us. Support is available. If you're looking for a job or you want to define something better, connect with Disability Employment Services. They have the LRS programs, disability advocacy organizations, or local employment providers. Look for short and long-term job supports. And also, very key, is focus on employers who value disability inclusion, supportive team environments, and have strong, inclusive leaders. We figure that the decision makers and the managers and the support staff make all the difference in making sure that person feels that they could be very successful in that role. Now remember, if you're looking for a job or you're wanting to find something outside of providers, remember, people change what's possible. You can have employment coaching and services. So most of the things that, you know, we all need support with, you know, do you have a resume? Do you know how to fill out applications? A lot of things are online platforms right now. Utilize these employment services that you can put all your skills and talents on a resume. Practice interviewing. It's so key. They're going to ask you some major questions, and you're going to want to know how to respond. Role play with somebody you trust, you know, and with the employment coaches. You're going to want to have a variety of different answers ready. And explore and experience various community places that spark your interest. You know, you can do this on your own or with providers, as we have just heard. One of my favorite concepts is everything is figure-outable, right? No problem. I mean, you can always get to somewhere and with creative forethought and all that. So some of the things you might be thinking about when you're looking to, you know, get a job is, you know, oh, I might have this issue or that issue. Well, we can help you do a successful community employment placement. Utilize the employment specialist to facilitate through waiver or VR placement with an employer. We'll help you get through those steps. Customizing job descriptions and negotiating job tasks are possible. I believe that we're seeing that more often. I believe with COVID, we've started to see a flexibility in roles or matching people's gifts and talents with different job sets. So more employers are looking to if this person's really good at this, let's keep them in that role, and that enhances their job. So consider that when you're helping people find community employment. You can develop job tasks, work schedules, job arrangements, different things that will make the individual more successful. And also what we find is training the supervisor on strategies on achieving long-term job success. It's really important to get with the employers, the person supervising, train them on, or talk with them about what makes that person more successful. And then with these employment supports, you can get on-the-job supports at the location and assistance with problem solving. So as you're learning different skills, we'll help you every step of the way. That is very important because you want to learn different skills in your role. Customize pathways, tailoring career experiences for success. Gaining experience while job searching. So we believe that just because you might not have a specific job that you worked here or worked there, you are still gaining experiences every day. Every experience you have can translate to a job skill. So, we were just talking about volunteering, teamwork, and communication skills. That is great for any job. And you see in this picture, they're volunteering at the food bank. So guess what they're learning? They're learning how to build boxes to give out. They're getting customer service. They're learning team skills. All those skills translate to employment. Put all that down on your resumes or your applications. Internships. Gain hands-on experience, mentorships, and professional connections through your school or an employer. If there's something you want to do, there's plenty of unpaid internships or paid that you can be a part of. Personal projects. If you have a passion project, that would help. You're doing what you love to do, and it also can lead to self-employment. You can start your own business as you keep growing your passion. Online courses, they have additional education and certificates online, and there's free, and of course there's YouTube, and you can learn a lot from subject matter experts. Join your clubs and organizations. Join clubs to network, collaborate, and gain leadership. One of the things a lot of clubs and organizations love to do is participate in fairs and festivals. Join them. They are doing service projects, they're networking with each other, and they're also learning different job skills while you are having fun. So one of the biggest things is, if it's not happening in your community, advocate for more employment opportunities and experiences. It is vital. We were seeing such a barrier to individuals in community employment with different opportunities. So what we did at Terrebonne ARC is to create our own path. So we believe that employment can start at any age, and for people with disabilities, the earlier the better that you educate individuals that they can dream and be whatever they want to be in life. That's key. You always want to keep that light on for them. So we were noticing years ago that there was such a barrier from when people left high school and wanted to come in for services or even seek employment, that it could be taking years, right? Years after they finished school. So people that wanted to go to college, they had their own pathway. People that wanted to go to work had their own pathway to work. People with disabilities in our community that did not have their own pathway. Once they crossed the graduation platform, it was, I wish you the best. So in the last few years, we have educated our educators in our community. We have built relationships with the school district, and now we have our own internship program in our social enterprises. We also have, not just in our social enterprises, but the school has learned employment from working with Terrebonne Arc, and now they're creating those experiences in our local hospital, in our local parish government, and things like that. So because it can be a ripple effect, and more people do have access to community employment. It's just how to navigate the opportunities out there. So like I said, it's all possible. It takes time, it takes people, and it takes the vision that all people can work and thrive in our community. We trained our educators. Right now, we were just talking about, they've started parent nights. It's huge. Get the family support. You know, families support the individual in their community jobs, and whether it could be transportation or just with day-to-day operations. Parent nights get a lot of resources. And then there's also a special education advisory committee in your school district. Be a part of that. Engage with employment. So I know employment can be scary. I know it can be a lot of, wheels at work, but choose employment. Everything you're experiencing in life, you can find something that really interests you. You can have more independence, more income. You're going to build new skills, more friendships. You're going to feel empowered, fulfilled, and most of all, you can achieve it. Thank you. I was trying to hurry.
All right, look at us. We're rocking and rolling. We're early. So does anybody have any questions? I appreciate Erica coming and talking to us about individual employment, because she is right. Like a lot of times our individuals that we support, employment is not necessarily something they think about in the past, and we certainly still have group employment. Erica's agency has multiple businesses in the community down in that area. They have a restaurant, they have a beignet shop, they have thrift stores, they have all kinds of social enterprises where it is a provider-owned business, but it is in the community 100%. And there are other people in there without disabilities working, so it is a mix. But outside of that, now, and most of that is done in a group employment service. I'm kind of talking to some providers now probably, but there is that aspect that they have individual employment, and they are well versed in that. And that's why I really wanted Erica to come in and talk and share with us today, because they do a lot of individual employment. It is something that they believe in, that they agree with, and of course 100% I do too. I do feel like there's not enough information out there about employment. The one thing that I really worked really hard on was getting those services in all the waivers and aligning that up. So for my providers, those services are aligned across the now, the row, and the supports waiver. So it doesn't matter what service, what waiver you're in, you can get the individual employment services. I feel like we have the supports there now that we didn't have before, so that it can help really get somebody off the ground and supported in their jobs. And so those services are just waiting to be used. I'm excited. There's been some usage of it. We hope to grow that. To me, it pairs very well with community life engagement, because, as we grow this, community life engagement can be that wraparound service. So somebody may work during the day, but they need somebody to get out in the evenings or on the weekends or whatever it may be. And that service is a service that can be utilized any time of the day, 7 days a week. There is, like I said, lots of opportunities there for growth and for people to jump in and do. Like I said, Erica's agency, they also do community life engagement. They do it a little different. They also pair it with their own site. And so but they certainly do a good job at the community life engagement. They're out doing and going too. When you have an agency and you support a lot of people, it is a little different than supporting 12 or 24 or whatever it might be. But it's doable. It just has to be figured out. And that's what Emily and Kim did. They figured it out. Like Emily, when I met her, she was like, oh my gosh. And then she went and figured it all out. And it was great. You know, she figured out they could rent cars from Enterprise and do it that way, because instead of buying agency vehicles. You know, she figured out this app that they can keep parents informed and keep everybody on the same page. I mean, she's done a lot of good things. So I'm going to say, if y'all want more information, I would go pick Emily and Kim's brain. So anyway, yes. Like for what service? No, like services are offered to everybody, and so they're supported on the level that they need to be supported. So anyone can participate in community life engagement or employment. You know, we would do the best we could there. Like there is some assessment around employment, if you're talking about that, as far as we have a whole service called Community Career Planning, and that is really kind of an assessment year where individuals, you have conversations, you try out things, you figure out what they like to do, what they don't like to do. Maybe someone can't work on the weekends because of religious reasons. Maybe somebody can't work at night because they take medicine at 6 o'clock and it wipes them out. So the point is to figure out all those ins and outs for each person, and then from there, like we narrow it down to maybe the person really enjoys being with animals and they don't have animals and they want to work with animals, and so maybe they figured out they'd like to work in like a PetSmart or something. So then there's the work-based learning assessments that we would try out some jobs and let them spend 3 or 4 hours in each job to try and get it. Hopefully prior to that they've done some volunteering and some around animals and some internships and things like that. So there's lots of things there to do the assessment piece for employment. But I've worked with employment a long time, and so I remember very well an individual who told me that she wanted to be a doctor, and through our conversations, she just wanted to wear a uniform, like scrubs. So a lot of times our individuals need some help in figuring all that out. And that's okay. That's what our providers are for, to kind of help figure out all these things. So that can be done during that community career planning service. It is one of our newer services that is mainly in the community. It should be community career planning is 100% in the community, but there's that offshoot that's an on-site service that they could do some things on site, but mainly the point of that service is to get people in the community. So you would utilize your one-stops and your libraries and the different things that you and I would go to for different types of prep or whatever it might be. So very much individualized. I don't know if I hit on your question, answered your question or not. Somewhat. Maybe we could have more of a discussion. You got my name and number. I'm more than happy to discuss it further with you. Absolutely. So LRS, we do work with LRS. So that is our, we're supposed to utilize LRS before we utilize waiver services, because, they are the first and foremost employment specialist here. But we also have created, CMS does not want our individuals to go for long periods of time without getting their needs met. So if you're on a waiting list with LRS, for 6 months, a year, 3 months, 6 months, 3 months, that's unnecessarily waiting. That job is come and gone. And we've had these conversations. I've had them with the federal level, actually, during some of our conversations. And we're all on the same page in the fact that, yes, LRS money should be utilized. However, if someone has a job, like let's just say you're volunteering somewhere and they offer you a full-time job. We don't always have the ability to go get eligible for LRS services and still have that job opportunity. With the waiver services that we've put in place, you can just then call up your support coordinator and say, hey, I got a job opportunity. I'm going to need some initial job coaching. Let's get this on my plan. And so it's very much meant to be flexible and for us to be able to support our individuals where they're at. It's not to say that individuals aren't to be referred to LRS at the beginning. Let's just say you come out of high school or whatever, you want to work, we refer you to LRS first to get you started. And that's kind of how that works. And then the waiver you get the job, they pay for all that initial stuff, and then we have the follow along and the follow up. Well, we have extended support and we have follow along support in the waiver, so then those could kick in later. So again, we have found that sometimes we wait unnecessarily long terms, years, before we would even get served. And we don't want to do that with our individuals. We want to be responsive. And so those services that we implemented actually mimic and kind of are in alignment with LRS. And so we work with LRS. I work very closely with them, but what I kept hearing over and over was how our individuals weren't getting the supports they needed or the timeliness. And all that goes back to a lot, I think, of LRS needing more money and more counselors. I'll be honest, because I've heard it way too much. So I wanted to make sure that sometimes also LRS goes on like a freezing and they don't have any money. And so then they could come to us. Or sometimes LRS determines them ineligible for services. We believe everyone can work. And so we're not going to say based on something that you can't work. We're going to give it a shot and try to figure it out. And that's where that customization comes in. So there's a lot of things there that play in. And like I said, we work very closely with LRS, and we've had good success with LRS, but we wanted to have another way to do the same thing in our waivers if necessary and need be. So anyway, other questions? It might be time. I don't want to. Oh, go have some snacks. If you have any questions, because I think I don't know what time it is. Oh, 2:12, look at there, I'm early again. But if you ever have questions or you need some help with something or some guidance, please feel free to reach out. I appreciate your time. I appreciate my presenters, and I appreciate y'all coming out today.